What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a story time. In the last video I told you guys that I was going to tell you about my bad experience at the doctor. So today let's get into it. Okay, so in my first video I told you guys that I did not have a period from August to November. So and that's around the time when me and my husband decided to say, like, okay, if we, that we can, well, it wasn't really trying to have a child, but we weren't preventing anymore too, if that makes sense. And so, like, if it happens, it's whatever. We felt like there's never, because at first we was just trying to, like, wait until we felt like it was the right time, but there's never really a right time to have a child. Like, you're going to have to adjust in some form of way, however it goes. And so we decided, like, we're not trying, but we're not preventing either. And so, and funny enough that month that we decided that we weren't going to prevent it, that's when my periods was just, like, gone out the window. Like, they just skedaddled. So, while I was waiting for my period to come on, I said I was taking pregnancy tests because my periods was not coming, and they were all coming back negative. So I went to the doctor, and he did a blood test, and he's like, so you're definitely not pregnant, but I'm going to refer you to another doctor so we can figure out why you're not having periods. So I get to the new doctor. Excuse me. Well, actually, the doctor he referred me to did not have any openings for like 2 months, I think 2 or 3 months. And so I went online and I Googled other doctors, and this doctor had great reviews. So I'm like, and it was close, so I'm like, I'm gonna try this out. So I made my appointment. They had a cancellation for the next day, so that was just luck. And so I get there. It went fine. I loved them. Like, I thought that it was, like, such a good doctor. She was so nice. Gave me a lot of information. She just basically asked me what's going on. And I told her that I wasn't having periods. And she was like, okay, so it could be this, or it could be this. And she was like, we're just going to schedule a sonogram so we can see what's going on. And so we can get a diagnosis and get you back on track. So I'm like, cool. Like I said, loving the experience so far. I'm like, y'all gonna get a great review. So second appointment come around. That was for my sonogram. So I get there, and she tried to do a sonogram, but she couldn't do a sonogram because she said that my uterus tips backwards, so it's hard to see, like, from on top. And so I had to have, like, a regular ultrasound. And so that's when she showed me the cyst on my ovaries, and she told me that I had PCOS. Now, I did see, somebody told me that they're not allowed to diagnose you. They're just supposed to do their job and do the screening and do the test, and the doctor is supposed to be the person to talk to you about what's going on. So I didn't know that, but somebody did tell me. After I told them what happened, they told me that she wasn't supposed to say that in the first place. So yeah, but I'm still thinking everything's fine and dandy. She showed me my cyst, and she's like, you have PCOS. She explained it to me, and I was very sad. I called my mom, told her, and so. And she just told me that she was like, the doctor is going to call you to schedule another appointment, and she's going to talk to you about your test results. So I remember days going on, and I still didn't receive a phone call. And I remember I was, excuse me, y'all, I'm sorry. I get random hiccups throughout the day. And I'm just, like, been praying that me and the Most High, there's just his sign of showing me that he going to let me grow 2 more inches in my lifetime. But I've been the same height since high school, so I don't think this gonna work. But I'm just hoping these hiccups mean your girl's still growing, because yeah, I want to be a little taller. But anyway, sorry. So what was I saying? Yeah, I was cramping, and I still did not hear from the doctor. And so I called said doctor, and they told me, like, well, she hasn't looked at your results yet, so that's why she haven't called you. And I'm like, it's been some days, like almost a week now, like, what's going on? Like, I think it really was like a week had passed and I still didn't hear anything, and that's why I called. And so I'm still cramping. So I don't remember when this was, but I do remember it was on a Saturday where I started bleeding, and I'm just like, oh, okay, this is my period. And so that was that. I'm thinking like, okay, I'm on my period, and the cramps were horrible. Like, bro, I was taking medicine. Even the cramps that I was having before I had my period was like, it was painful. And so when I actually started the period, they were like horrible. I was taking medicine, nothing was working, and they was just all around bad. And I'm just like, I know it's been some months since I had a period, but I don't remember them being this painful. And so days go on, and we get to a Tuesday. My husband picked me up after work, and we went to Walmart so we can get some groceries. So we're grocery shopping, and I get a phone call from the doctor's office, and it is the doctor's assistant. And she's like, hey, are you bleeding? Yeah, my period started Saturday. And she's like, okay, hold on. And my husband's like, he's looking at me, he's like, what's going on? Like, what's up? And I'm like, I don't know. And so she gets back on the phone, and she was like, Miss Harwell, did you take a pregnancy test? And I'm like, yeah, I took one like a week or two ago. I remember I had took one and it said negative. And she's like, okay, hold on again. And I'm like, okay. And so she gets back on the phone. She's like, yeah, the doctor still wants you to come in because she thinks that, no, she said that the doctor wants you to come in because your ultrasound shows signs of early pregnancy. Excuse me, what? It shows signs of what? I was like, well, she said the P word. I told my husband, I said, I'm finna go to the car. And he's like, why? What's wrong? What's going on? I said, I'm just gonna go to the car. And so, like, when I was talking to her, I was like, it shows signs of what? She's like, your ultrasound, the doctor said that your ultrasound shows signs of early pregnancy. Could you come in to take more tests tomorrow? And I'm like, but I've been bleeding since Saturday. That's like 4 days. And she's like, yeah, could you just come in tomorrow and take a test? And I'm just like, okay. And so and she was like, what time? She's like, just come in whenever. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come in on my lunch break. And so at this point, tears are forming, because if someone told you that your ultrasound, it looked like on your ultrasound like you was pregnant, like it was early pregnancy, and you've been bleeding for 4 days straight, non-stop, what are you gonna think? Miscarriage, right? I wasn't overreacting. That's just what everybody's gonna assume, right? Like, you say it shows that I was pregnant, but I've been bleeding for 4 days straight. And I'm like, and so I'm in the car, I'm over here sniffling. My husband comes to the car, and he's like, babe, what's wrong? And I tell him what the doctor said, and he's like, so you're pregnant? And I'm like, I've been bleeding. I was like, remember I told you my period started Saturday? And he's like, so you're not pregnant? And I'm like, I don't know. Miscarriage? I don't know. So I'm like, I'm really legit thinking that I'm having a miscarriage, because she said I was pregnant. It looked like I was pregnant, and I've been bleeding. And I'm like, man. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I have been bleeding a lot heavier than normal. Like, man, these cramps have been more painful than normal, and I'm freaking out. Like, I'm legit crying, and he's like, babe, don't cry. And I'm like, okay. I'm like trying not to cry, and I'm just like, but I can't. And so I'm just sitting in the car quiet. We get home, and I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if I went inside the house. I think I did go inside the house and help him put the groceries up, or we didn't have that many groceries. I can't remember if I went inside the house. I just remember that I left. Like, I got my keys, crunked up the car, and jetted, because I'm like, okay, I'm about to have a breakdown, and I wanted to be alone. I just really wanted to be alone. And so I'm driving. I don't know where I'm going. I'm driving around town trying to find an empty parking lot, and like around the corner from excuse me, stupid hiccups again, but like, bro, at least let me grow like an inch, half an inch, something, if you gonna make me keep having these hiccups. Sorry. And so I'm driving around and I find an empty parking lot, and I just break down. I'm just crying, I'm crying. And like, I can't describe the feeling that I had. Like, I was so sad, and I didn't know what to do. All I could do, like, the only thing I could do was cry. Like, I was just like, I kept on trying to stop crying. Like, I would stop, and then more tears would come out. Like, it just was horrible. And so I called my mom, and because my mom doesn't live in the same state as me. And so I called her, and I told her what the doctor said. And she's like, okay, like, yeah. And I'm like, Mom, I've been bleeding since Saturday. And she was like, did you tell the doctor that? I said, yeah, I told them that. She's like, what did they say? And I'm like, they just told me to come in tomorrow. And matter of fact, I don't even think I said that. I think she said something else, and my emotional butt got upset and hung up the phone. I do remember I hung up the phone in her face. Sorry, Mom. You know, it's all love here. It's all love. It's all love. I apologize. I don't even know why I called my mom. I know I really wanted to talk to her in that moment because I was so sad, and I'm a mama's baby. I'm sorry, I always have been. So I really wanted my mom. And so I called her because I really, really wanted her and I really needed her. But at the same time, I don't know. Like, I wanted to talk to my mom, but I didn't want to talk to somebody at the same time. Like, I really don't know. Like, I was all messed up. And so she said one thing that kind of like that I didn't like, and I was just like, click. And I threw the phone. That's not funny, Genesis. That's not funny. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. And so I threw the phone to the passenger side, and I just started crying again. And so I get myself together. I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, okay, I want my husband. And so I drive home. I get in the bed, and I start crying again. Like, I have the covers over my head, and I just feel my husband get in bed by me, like beside me, and I just feel him holding me, and he's like, babe, and he's just like, babe, and I just feel him, he's just like holding me and rubbing me, just like really just being there for me. And so I'm sad, my mom's sad, my husband's sad. And so we fast forward to the next day. I tell my boss, like, okay, I have to go to the doctor, and I'm going on my lunch break. I may or may not be back on time. She's like, okay, cool. And so the whole day while I'm at work, I'm just like trying to hold it together because I'm still very emotional. And so I get to the doctor's appointment, and I go in, and they draw blood. Y'all. After I draw blood, she's like, okay, you can go sign out. I said, excuse me, what? Like, they were legit about to draw my blood and send me home. Wasn't gonna say anything. They were not gonna explain themselves. They wasn't gonna tell me what was going on. She just told me to go sign out and I could go home. And so I get to the front office, and I'm just like, can I speak to my doctor? Because I'm usually, when it comes to like doctors and stuff like I'm usually just like go with the flow type of person. I just do what they say, and I ask some questions, but I don't really just, I'm not that type of person. I need to be, but I'm really not. And so at that point, I was ready to square up. Like, I'm just like, bro, I'm finna get all the way out the spirit up in here, because ain't no way y'all gonna tell me that it shows signs of an early pregnancy, and then I tell you I've been bleeding. You come take my blood and send me home. Like, you're not gonna explain anything. You're just gonna send me home. Not like, who does that? Especially if I told you that I've been bleeding for 4 days, and you tell me that you talking about early pregnancy, and I'm just like, and I'm still bleeding, mind you. So this is like day 5 of me bleeding, and so I'm just like, logic, where is it? Like, what's going on? And so the doctor's assistant comes. I'm just really trying to figure out why I was talking to the doctor assistant and not the doctor. I asked for the doctor, not her assistant. But anywho, the doctor assistant come, and I asked her, okay, I'm like, I just really want to know what's going on. Like, you told me that the doctor said that it looked like an early pregnancy, and I told you that I've been bleeding since Saturday, and nothing has been explained to me, and I just really need to know what's going on. And she's like, well, the doctor finally got a chance to look at your results, and it looked like it was a 50% chance that either you were pregnant or you were about to have a period. So it's like either it was early pregnancy or ovulation. Hold on, y'all. Let me put my glasses on so I can be. She did not, y'all, that is not what that woman said. She told me that the doctor said it shows signs of an early pregnancy. 50-50 chance ovulation did not come out her mouth. It did not come out of her mouth not one time during that phone conversation. So when she said that, I'm like, woman, this in my head, I'm like, that's not what you said. But I'm just like, okay, cool. I got it together, and I'm just like, okay. So what's next? She's like, so tomorrow I'm gonna give you a call and let you know what your results are. So I'm still not gonna know what's going on. Still have to go this whole day just not knowing what's up. And so I'm like, okay, like the only thing I can do is wait. So I'm still sad. That was a Wednesday. And so we go to class. Me and my husband go to class. And that whole time, like, even though I was thinking that I was putting up a good front in public, like I was okay, I obviously was not, because about like 5 or 6 people asked me what was wrong, and I'm just like, why is everybody asking me what's wrong? And it was like, I can just see, I can just feel it in your spirit, like something's not right. And one of the brothers was like, what's wrong, sis? And I was like, nothing. I was like, nothing, I'm fine. He was like, don't lie to me, sis. And I'm just like at this point, like, I realized I was bearing false witnesses. I was lying. I was not being truthful. But I really could not talk about it at that point, because I already knew if I talked about it, I was going to cry. And I was not trying to cry in the building in front of people. Like, y'all my brothers and sisters and stuff. But I was really not trying to have a breakdown right after class. Like, I legit was not. So me and my husband went home. And the next day, I told my boss, I'm like, okay, look, I'm waiting on an important phone call from my doctor. Just letting you know that my phone will be out. My sound will be on my phone because I'm waiting for a phone call. And she's like, okay, that's fine. So the whole day I was waiting for a phone call. I get off at 4:30 and the doctor's office closed at 5. And so, sorry. And so, by the time I got off, they still had not called. My doctor's like, so did your doctor call? And I'm like, no. And so now at this point, I'm fed up. I'm like, bro, they really want to catch these hands at this point. Because I'm just like, what is going on? Like, that whole experience was just so unprofessional to me. Because I'm just like, if you tell a client that you're going to call them the next day, call them the next day. Don't have them waiting for you. Like, especially something that is as important to this. And so, like, I really feel like they didn't realize how much of a panic that they put me in and how stressed I was because of what they said. Like, now that I think about it, I don't think she meant to do that, but it's like the way she worded it was just completely wrong. I'm gonna talk about that later anyway. It's just and so they didn't call me, so I got home and I called them, and I'm just like, yeah, I told them my name, and I'm just like, I just need the test results from my blood work from yesterday. And so she's like, oh yeah, okay, let me get those for you. She come back and she's like, okay, you weren't pregnant. You did not have a miscarriage. It's just a period. I'm like, okay, thank you. Yeah, so I get off the phone, and first of all, I'm really relieved and thankful that it wasn't a miscarriage. But I'm like, do y'all really, y'all do not understand what y'all put me through. Okay, so when they called me, they should have just been like, hey, can you come in to do some more tests? And I would have just been like, fine. They could have just said that they need me to come in and do some blood work to go along with my ultrasound, and I just would have been like, oh yeah, like I would have been no questions, nothing. It would have been fine. The word pregnant should not have come out of her mouth at all, period. That's what I feel like. Like, especially the first thing you asked me was if I was bleeding, and I told you that I've been bleeding since Saturday and had been 4 days. So when she called me and her first question was, have you been bleeding? I said I've been bleeding for 4 days. First of all, she shouldn't ask that question, period. She's just been like, could you come and do a test? And I would be like, okay, you don't tell somebody that they show signs of pregnancy after they tell you they've been bleeding for 4 days. Like, you just don't do that. Like, what? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I know it was not her intentions to get me riled up like that or happy thinking that, but I really feel like she handled that situation so wrong, and I probably should have told her about herself so she can know not to do it to somebody else, to just be like, hey, just come in and do some tests, because those 2 days were so, matter of fact, 3 days, because Tuesday she told me, Wednesday I took the test, and Thursday, it wasn't until Thursday around 4:50, right before 5 o'clock, until I found out that it was just a period. So it was like almost 3 days that I was like really miserable. Like, I was so depressed. I was so sad. Like I said, I kept trying to act like I was okay. But this whole time, both me, my husband, and my mom thought that I had a miscarriage. And it was just, I swear, I would not wish that feeling on my worst enemy. Matter of fact, I don't even have enemies. But if I had an enemy, I would not wish that feeling on them. Like, you just feel so sad. Like, it's just because it's something that you can't do anything about it. And you feel like it's your fault. And you just like, why? And you're just like, why? And I know that everything happens for a reason, and the Most High has a plan, and everything has to go through Him. But at the same time, it's just like sometimes you just think to yourself, like, why? And that's what I was doing. Like, I was just so sad, and I was blaming myself, and it was just horrible. And so, that's not the end of it. Okay, so my initial reason for going to the doctor was because I was not having periods. And so I had the period, but there was not a promise that my periods was just going to come boom, boom, boom every month, especially after they told me that I had PCOS. And so I was waiting for the doctor to tell me what's next, and I still didn't get a phone call after that. I had to call them again. And again, I talked to her assistant, I think I only talked to the doctor one time, and it was my first visit there. That's the only time I talked to her. Any other time with technicians and her assistant and the people in the front office, I only talked to the doctor one time. And that was just a consultation. Like, she was just talking to me. Like, it wasn't even, yeah. So I called them and I asked them, okay, so what's next? And she just told me, well, we just need you to come in on cycle day 1, cycle day 3, and cycle day 21, and to do some more tests so we can make sure that you're ovulating right, so you can have a period, and we can figure out what, figure out what we can do. And so she was like, basically, you just have to wait until you have another period. I told you guys that I didn't have a period for 3 months, right? So luckily I did have another period. That was December. Luckily I did have another period in January. But just, what if I didn't have another period for another 3 months again, or 5 months? I saw one person said they only had 3 periods in a year. What if I'm just like, or what if I was having periods and you guys were closed? What if, because you had to go on the first day of your period. The first day of your period, your third day, and the 21st day. What if those days you guys were closed and it just never added up? When was I gonna be able to come back and take some more tests and figure stuff out then? And so I was like, so I just have to wait for my next period. She's like, yeah, you just have to wait. And woo chile. I was just like, bro, That was such a stressful situation, and that's why I told you guys that I'm not here for the doctors right now. I really don't want to deal with it at all. Like, that's why I'm just like taking supplements. Oh guys, I bought me some more folate. So I have folate now, and I began taking that yesterday. And so I am taking folate with my maca root right now. So I'm taking 2 supplements right now. Just wanted to give you guys an update on that. And so that's why I'm just taking supplements, and I'm eating more vegetables, and I'm cutting out carbs. Well, not cutting out carbs all the way. I'm eating less carbs because I'm really not trying to go back to the doctor. Not after that experience. And I was just so disappointed. But, excuse me, sorry. Anyway, that was my bad experience with the doctors. I hope you guys never have to go through what I went through, because that was horrible. The next video should be the giveaway video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.